All right, our second story on the woo-woo history lesson here. So the second one, this is a little out there, but I don't know if you guys saw the story. There's lots of stories, but maybe you missed this one. But New Mexico researchers decided to transform dead birds into drones. And this has been a conspiracy theory for a while now that some birds are drones. And here we go. We have a picture of a really ugly drone that was made out of a dead bird and converted to it. So I'm going to let Patrick absorb that while I'll let Dylan go first and say, hey, Dylan, are these flying around the Colorado area?
I mean, I haven't had any that I know of hit my windows, but I'm sure there are some out there. I mean, they've been using animals for all sorts of missions over the years, and so it wouldn't surprise me they would use camouflage of a bird to disguise a drone. Like, of course they try that. If they can get away with it, just have it perch on a tree. Like, who's going to pay attention to it? Only the weird bird watchers would pay attention to those things. And then, you got weird drone watchers now.
Yeah, the only risk there, I guess, is if AI gets into the drone, then you have dead birds attacking everyone, and we end up with the Alfred Hitchcock kind of moment. So, Patrick, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Birds, the classic from Hitchcock, but what are your takes on these lovely drones that are out there, and what is this valuable research that people are doing at the university?
I mean, I agree with Dylan. It doesn't surprise me that it's out there. Again, I don't think, as long as we have nothing to hide, then it doesn't really scare me, right? So I'm not really scared by them being out there. I'm just out there living my life, a normal guy. But I do think that it is a concern for privacy. I don't know why they would be surveilling like the citizens. So I guess for me, I have to have trust in the system at some level, that if they're using these, it's for a good reason and it is for our betterment. Like, I don't see any effects of them coming in and raiding our houses and taking our weapons or anything like that. But should that happen, then I think we'll be very thankful for those weird bird watchers who can tell you the difference.
Yeah, if they're doing it for altruistic reasons or to understand the migration patterns of birds or something like that to get closer data, sure. But I think it was interesting that he said that something is out there. That kind of leads into my third story of little X-Files.
What bucket?
So the first two stories I'm going to say are bucket one. I mean, we know
what bucket is this one?
This one has parts. I would say it has parts of all three buckets, and we'll go through each one. So this one, first off, the first part of the bucket. We got multi-bucket applications here. So this one, I don't know if you guys heard, but this happened yesterday, and there was a hearing that in front of Congress about UFOs. And now I think they're called UAPs because UFO is too conspiracy. So now they're called. I don't even remember what UAP stands for, but they said that there were 650 potential UFO sightings. The number of UFO sightings are much, much higher in the last 18 months, according to Cliff High, from what I heard. And I know, Patrick, you asked me this question. When's the last time that there was a hearing on Capitol Hill about UFOs? And the answer, according to Wikipedia says it was 1969. So the reason that I'm talking about this is twofold. And this is where we get a little bit into the conspiracy theory and bucket two. So bucket two now is the Alta reports that Cliff High used to run. And his data would have temporal markers. And what they would say, like, significant events, like things would happen about this time when this event happened. Like he actually was, I think he was 85 days in advance of the 9/11 event. He said something similar. He didn't say obviously what would happen, but the reports hinted at it. These other temporal markers, there's three temporal markers that are in a group, and sometimes they're grouped together, and they tend to associate. They'll have it happen about the same time. One is $600 silver. One is the banks going down, and the third one is that UFOs make a big appearance on the national scene, or maybe even the global scene, which could, if you think about it, it could be a false flag, but I think it could be, what better event could they have to unify the planet and say, we really need a one world government and a one world currency and to all be unified against what this potential is happening. So there's your bucket three part, as I put pieces together that maybe this does happen about the time when things are falling apart in the economic system and tying this all together. So, Dylan, I know it's bucket 3, but what are your thoughts on that theory?
Oh man, I don't know. Like I really I want to believe. I want to believe in aliens so badly. I don't want them to just be some conspiracy made up by the government. Like, I would much prefer, maybe not. Part of me would much prefer if they're introducing aliens now, because now's the time we need to call in, our big brother basically to come save us because we've kind of messed things up. We need some help, and so we're calling in our aliens that we've been in communication with for these years, because clearly they haven't destroyed us yet. So yeah, maybe that'd be a good thing. But then part of me is like, man, if we're dealing with aliens now, I don't know if we're advanced enough to even stand our own ground. So we had to make some pretty big compromises in order to get their help. They have all of the leverage. So maybe it's not a good position to be in. Maybe we need to wait, 20 more years for, I don't know, or maybe the aliens are going to save us from AI. But it seems to be more like a conspiracy to distract people. I mean, that's probably the most likely thing, rather than any real aliens.
Keep in mind that it may not be like, they may not show like, hey, here's an alien, but they could show that here's UFOs and that what's going on, and create hysteria, create things like, hey, there are things in the sky, like a Project Bluebeam that we talked about earlier, where they have these holograms that look like UFOs. And I think there was a big sighting. I think it was in Arizona, where like even the governor saw it. And there's these lights that just came over, and like 7,000 people saw it in one night. It was one of the most record viewing of a UFO sighting, and they never had a clear answer. But the best answer was it was an experiment of Project Bluebeam. Yes, Patrick, that did happen. I could find that story too for you. But yes, it was probably the most recorded UFO sighting, and it was at night, and it was a bunch of lights, and they thought it was it was reported like a stealth bomber. I think it was Arizona.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it over Texas. People would shoot it.
But Patrick, what's the plausibility of that false flag event coming down the pike? I mean, could you see a scenario where that could be a driver towards a one world government?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think Thanos is coming, but my faith is in God and Glocks. So as long as the aliens stay far away from me, we're going to be all good. I can get along with anyone. I might even learn to love some of them, I guess, if that's really what happens. But just don't attack me. I don't care if I'm inferior to you. I'm still going to come at you with all of my Glocks and God. In Jesus' name, I'm going to shoot you. I don't know. I don't want to deal with aliens. It's not a life I'm hoping for, Dylan. I don't know why you'd wish these things upon us. Like, I wish I would find out there's aliens out there. I don't want any of that. I don't think they want my Bitcoin. I don't think there's anything I could do to negotiate with them. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not looking to fight anybody, so maybe if the aliens out there, if they could just find a way to do it peacefully and reveal yourself to us and be like, hey, but we're actually the good guys, like the Men in Black kind. Look, we just killed Nancy Pelosi or something. And then everyone would be like, hey, you are cool. Something to get us on the same page, but don't come eat our children. Those are not the kind of aliens I want. You know what I mean? Can you guys see how
that's a good criteria?
You shouldn't ask me these hypothetical questions because I just don't I want to shoot them all.
Friendly aliens, not children eating aliens.
Yeah. If there was a ghost, I'd like to see Casper, show up as Casper, have a fun voice. Hey, I'm a ghost. We're good. But you got the other creepy ghosts, the ones hiding up in the corner, jumping out, pretending to look like nuns, to eat your face. I'm going to scream and I'm going to shoot that, so it's all about presentation, guys. So if aliens, if you're watching, hey, just come in peace, we'll accept you in peace. We're Americans. We accept anything.
Luckily, when you're talking about the children eating aliens, even things on our planet don't want to.
My kids watch my show. Mason, Abigail, don't watch this part.
No, I'm just saying, even most animals that eat other animals don't want to eat humans. We're not even very appetizing for the animals that eat and kill other things. They will eat us, but in general, we're not really much of a desirable target for most of these creatures. So aliens are different, but they'd have to be really different to go out of their way to come here to eat us.
Yeah, I don't know how I transition from alien cannibalism. I don't know where I go with that segment, but
I just texted Jeff, said put an advisor on this, like it's not suitable for kids. I'm serious. If my son listens to this, Jeff, he is gonna have nightmares. I'm gonna have nightmares, man. Guys, Jeff, can we agree to talk less bucket 3 stuff? Can we just stick to bucket 2?
If you want to scare kids, just have them watch Monsters Inc. and tell them it's real.
If one of you guys post on here, this is it. This is it. Someone must put a 3 on here. If you post a 3 on here, I know you like talking this stuff too. If there is no 3 for like several weeks in a row, Jeff, we need to not talk about it because you're scaring everyone off. If you relate to me, don't put a 3.
I never said aliens were going to eat your face. I never said any of that. I never said any consumption of aliens of humans.
I don't want to talk about any of this. This is frightening. I'm going to have nightmares.
Your mind went to aliens eating.
Right. But it's that kind of hysteria is like why this is deemed as possibly a very large false flag and one of the last ones that they could pull to try and keep control and push towards a new world order, one world government. So
yeah, there'll be hysteria. I'll be hysterical.
Exactly. Yeah,
yes, absolutely. If you tell me there's aliens outside and I get proof that they're there and I see stuff happening, man, I'm gonna lose my crap. Like that's really gonna happen. So prepare. If that's what's really happening, guys, be prepared for us to not hear anything else you're saying because all we're gonna see is aliens. And we're not going to be comfortable with that shit. We don't want it. You know what I mean, guys?
I think people need to make peace with the thought that they're not alone in the universe. That would be a very egotistical thing for human beings to think.
They've heard of Jesus. Maybe we could talk about Jesus and then we'll all be friends. You know, I don't know.
You know, I'm going to talk about aliens and we talk about that. You know, we're going to talk about we'll do that on another show. We will talk about aliens in the Bible. I'm more than happy talking about that.